that was a one-off. Those are both one-offs. Those are both 1 and O's. I guess the Diddy Kongs popped in a couple times. Oh, undefeated. But like,
I want to see the Diddy and the Mario, 2 undefeated characters, go up against each other. That'll be
both
cool.
of them, they're just like, actually, let's keep our little
Yeah,
records that
little
way.
gentleman's handshake. All right.
We will not be seeing those. We're going to see, honestly, what's stock standard for these two. Highest win for the side of Hype Gaming in the Fox. Second highest for Mango Butter on the Rob. Again, this Rob, it does feel like it is just on the edge in so many games, and I think that it is going to be something you need to watch out for as we look ahead to the playoffs. As every single week, it looks like it's getting a little more solid, and he's just figuring out how to, utilize some of the really funky aerials that he's got going on. There's a lot of space that this Rob can sneak away, especially from a character like Fox that does have to get in your face.
And we're already seeing something that I don't think we saw as much from his Rob play previously. He's starting to use the gyro more and more with each week, and it's been helpful to keep Hype from getting his run-ups, getting his own flow. So, but now you see once the Fox gets you up in the air, and then the
Wow.
One of the tough parts playing up against Hype's Fox is it's incredibly quick. And when he knows that he's got you in a position that he can just, grab, run up smash, he's going to throw it down. And unless you're, frame perfect with your rollout, with your spot dodge, or whatever option you're using to try and survive, he's going to make it happen. And sometimes it's just a true combo. We saw a little, dodgeball go between the two of them and all their moves for a moment. But so far, I mean, we're seeing a little bit of a response from the Rob, but it feels like Hype, as so often happens, he starts to figure out what you're doing off that first stock, gets a lot of information, and then really does just continue to run down as somehow, DIs out of that.
Oh.
Does not DI towards the ledge. As at 145, we knew that stock was going down at some point, and for Mango Butter and Butter Gang, like, this is just, probably another 10% that's not going to be tacked on, so you're happy with that one.
Oh my gosh.
Same one.
So good. It's so clean.
Run, up smash. A lot of the times you're still just stuck on stage unless you get that like perfect tech, or sometimes you're just still in the the dead frames where you're just hit by that by the nair. So it is just so tough to deal with and get past.
If Mango's able to get him,
Mango's able to get back on stage is where the sentence really got to start. So far, he's just getting juggled one time, and fortunately, that was a sour spot on the.
Wow. The tag.
I mean, we heard it earlier. Cannot tech. Stage spikes will be a successful way to take him down. So, I am gonna say that the Donkey Kong looking scary, as the Fox does what it does best, and that is, be quick and take a win as it moves up to 11. In the win category, so
That's pretty strong.
And something I was gonna say before we saw Rob not touch the ground for a bit was there were some moments there. I know Butter's been working on this with his Rob. He's trying to get the down air ledge spikes. And he had a couple moments where if he had been a little more daring, a little more comfortable with the training he's done so far, maybe he could have gotten a spike off of some of the up Bs, but wasn't his day against the Fox today. We'll see how he develops that for the next, rest of the season.
those are the adjustments you gotta find. As now looking ahead, I mean, I think the Rob is still a very solid pickup. I think now you're in game 2, you want to try and just snag a win. You're leaning towards the Aegis probably, but on Hype's side, are we looking at the Joker? Or are we looking at the Donkey Kong?
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna see both.
We're probably gonna see both, unless we see something crazy. As who saw this coming? It's gonna be the Joker coming up, and And the Rob, once again, I mean, the Rob didn't look bad, and I think especially against someone who obviously is still fast, but not quite as speedy as the Fox and this Joker. I think there's going to be a couple more openings, and it really is just going to be watching out for some of those moments from Arsene. As both of them just kind of dipping around each other, not much damage being laid down quite yet.
Oh, the up air drag down chick.
Fortunately for how annoying they may be, there's not a ton of damage that actually gets dealt by those drag down up airs, and it is very swiftly responded to with just a couple side specials. As we will see this Arsene come out probably next hit that lands from Mango Butter, or maybe there will just be a little bit of charging that comes through in the next couple seconds as just bit by bit he's so comfortable on this Joker. And Arsene does finally come out, that passive stacking
Ow.
Nice.
coming through, and a Youch indeed. That is the thing about Rob. He gets one or two abilities. I don't know if he's technically classified as a heavy, but he sure does hit like one sometimes.
Oh.
And, that's another thing that the Joker can do, which is just spike you down, and you got to dance a little bit when that comes through. So we'll say, only one smash attack, honestly, away from evening up this game for the side of Mango Butter. I love him going for an offstage option. I think he could have held on a second, played a little bit more reactively instead of just feeling like he had to throw something out. As down air will not kill off the top, shocker there. But still,
Oh my God.
Gave him Arsene back. Oh, but it doesn't matter.
I do want to say, like, the spacing, the reading, like, for the most part has been pretty good for the Rob against. Oh my God.
Yes! Oh, he sneaks one back!
Yes.
Oh, that's what you love to see!
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess like a
That's what
character
I'm talking
baby.
strong as the Joker, like, there's been really good looks. Oh no, the footstool.
I think Rob makes it back with the gas.
He-
Does
He
he
definitely
no tech
does.
needed?
He's Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of infinite recovery. But I mean, that's some great stuff. There's another stage spike attempted, not quite landing as.
Oh no.
Finally ran out of gas.
The-
Finally ran out.
I will
of gas.
say the tech jar is ripping.
Bursting.
Yeah.
Wait
still
for
so
one,
happy
but
with that,
I mean, at this point, it's anyone's game. This Joker, so often, a great option for the side of Hype Gaming is.
Wow.
Ooh, I like
both of
that.
them
Oh
looking
my
for-
gosh!
look at it.
Agreed.
He just
Wow.
fell. And you
He
can see it
stopped.
on his
He's
face. Oh,
blood
man.
in his eyes. He had to go for it, but damn. All right, Rob.
And I think a big piece of it was he wasn't super confident getting back on stage in those moments either, right? Like, I think he still had, reflections of how he lost the second stock in his head. I think he still knew that if he didn't get a spike here, he was probably getting spiked down. If he didn't get a spike here, he's probably getting hit once or twice, and suddenly you're one down tilt away from death. And this series evened up at 1 apiece. Rob finally getting a dub today. Long overdue, honestly, for getting that first stock. And the Joker, despite how solid it looked in that first stock, I mean, after the fact, it felt like he just, might have gotten his head a little bit or something, that there just wasn't the same confidence controlling it. I think it was also just Butter Gang, maybe fueling up Mr. Mango as he really did step up and start to control the stage.
I think it's like what Bridge 4 said. Mango's Rob was really getting his spacing right against that Joker and keeping him a bit uncomfortable. Now he wasn't allowed to play the way he'd like to play, especially with, and also I think maybe the weight of Rob could help him eat a little bit of what Joker goes for compared to some other characters.
Age-old phrase. They always
They
jump
always jump.
incoming. Because of how we know Roy's recovery is. If Hype Gaming can get him stage, he's one of those characters where you're really gonna want to get a jump out to make sure that you can get back,
Oh.
but exactly what the DK wants.
I don't think he cares about jumps. He's just like, they always just stand there as he just got tilt after tilt. I will say, Roy definitely taking advantage in this moment as finally, we thought he was going to read the roll.
Oh.
Love that idea as both of them slamming on each other's shields. So far, this is a great start for the Roy, and honestly, I think this is probably one of your better matchups when you're looking at the lineup for Hype Gaming for the Roy. So I'm surprised that he picked into this one. Maybe it is just that confidence DK has always been, at the core of his lineup. It's for being able to slap him around like that.
Nope. Oh. And
Great
PS2.
spike.
DK at PS2.
Not quite on stage, but here you really do just want to try and take the stock.
There you go.
That S smash will do it, and take away the power punch. I think that's also a big resource you didn't want to have to be dealing with, is not to sneak off stage and go for the stage spike. So that's one big win for the side of Mango Butter, who already said that's something that he's a little scared of today. Is it's really tough he wasn't able to get him while the sequence though.
Ooh.
Wow.
Punish and oh baby bongos.
Baby bongos.
Now this is where it just gets scary for anyone playing against DK.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
They always jump.
Oh, how does that?
Oh my
How does
God.
that last side B hit? Ref.
Rev. Rev. Rev.
Rep is in his
something.
head. Rep, he's reading his playbook.
Do something.
Well, at least he doesn't have to face DK again.
Yeah.
That's true. That was the greatest.
Ooh.
Right about that one.
Brother.
Right? I'm like putting it into the void right now. Like banger TikTok is just, they always jump, and then it's just like him in like grayed out like dream sound, just like they always jump, and then just bang, bang, and then a brother. Right there. That's the TikTok.
There we go.
That's the formula. But I mean, they're giving us content, but holy hell, that start looks great for the Roy, and then Hype Gaming just said, just cracked his knuckles and said, it's time to play some bongos. Like,
Yeah.
He got the spike back. He spiked him back. And now, I mean, you think he's gonna go Joker to kill it out? Yeah, he must.
Absolutely.
At this point.
He
I
must.
need a Sheik so he can have a fourth undefeated character on his roster. Although he'd probably lose, honestly, to the Aegis. I
Yeah, to
don't
the
think
Aegis.
He'd feel super comfortable going into that one. And as we've mentioned before, right, like Game 4 is the time that you really do want to, lock it away. When you're up 2-0, you can maybe, spare that stock, trying to have a little fun with it. In the series, you have space to bring it back. But at this point, you're already down by 1. You don't want to put yourself in a Game 5 kind of position, especially not on someone, we haven't seen all season. So that's, side special. We're playing side special.
Ooh. It's working.
Great up tilt as well.
Where are you going?
He's gonna pull a classic Brawl Meta Knight and just go under the stage.
Don't give me those PTSD flashbacks.
Oh.
That was there.
Oi.
As the end lag from one, F Smash will open itself up to another. As I'm surprised we haven't seen the Pyro popping back out quite yet. Is grabbed out of the side special. I mean, there is always, an active hitbox for the Mithra, even if she is kind of dipping around. Is not going to see anything land quite yet. Great shield usage coming out of Hype Gaming, and it is just going to be, can something land? It's good to keep this game from getting away from you, and I think that's one of the key points of your second stock is once you're down and, maybe even lose that second stock to your opponent's first, or at the very least you're down to that
You need your
50 and right there. Just too much end lag,
You need it.
no jump. And swapping over so you feel a little more comfortable.
Ooh, almost scared the kid.
That's
No.
why.
Wow, interesting. You can see him throwing his arms
A
around.
lot of hits, so you counter one hit, you don't necessarily counter the other.
Yeah, that's true.
Very funky interaction, though. I've never seen anything that, but good to know you can't really count the side special from Pyra. As he will just get kind of snagged back as looking for a footstool. What was he doing there? What was that?
Oh.
Right now.
Ooh.
Not sure where to go. Jumps
Lives.
into the charge
Nice.
F smash.
Wow.
But the F air will. As a valiant effort. Great win in game number 2. Good looks on the Roy. Solid looks on the Aegis.